So that's why WFD National Assembly deems it important to train the staff of the National Assembly. Though it's not the first time, the training has been a continuous thing. So we are not new with the topics, especially the committee secretariat. We once had a similar training at Baobab, so it's just a refresher. And I hope we will be able to utilize the opportunity to learn and then go back to the assembly, and that is what we have learned and what we have been learning. So before wasting much time, I will now call on the country rep, Ms. Antitabu, to give us a statement.
Thank you very much, Sarah, for giving me this opportunity. And I'll join Sarata as well to say thank you very much and to welcome you to this training. The Deputy Clerk of the Assembly, the Director of Committees of the National Assembly, and my fellow colleague, PAFO, participants, and the media, and all CSOs present to this training. I am pleased to welcome you to this two-day training on report writing and digital documentation for secretaries, clerks, and researchers of the National Assembly. As Sarata highlighted, WFD is pleased to be associated with the National Assembly because, as you all know, WFD opened its office in 2018 and aimed at supporting the building and strengthening of democracy in the Gambia. Since inception, the National Assembly are among our stakeholders. In fact, they are our principal stakeholder, and also host the country office of the National Assembly. Around the world, WFD is helping to make countries' political systems more inclusive and accountable and strengthened. In an exclusive and accountable political system, all citizens, regardless of sex, origin, disability, ethnicity, and religion, and any other status, have the space and ability to participate and influence policies and laws, as well as hold institutions and people with power responsible for their decisions. WFD, Westminster Foundation for Democracy, is currently implementing two programs for our 23-24 academic year, namely the Grant in Aid, that is the GIA, and the Environmental Democracy. Both programs aim to support, identify stakeholders in consolidating democracy in the Gambia. This training is derived from the GIA program. And at the planning stage, an investigation was carried out on what knowledge, skills, and abilities is needed to assist staff in successfully fulfilling their responsibilities, the nature and content of professional programs on enhancing knowledge, skills, and abilities. While we support our partners, especially the National Assembly, our approach encompasses enhancing institutional and technical capacity, collaborating with all professionals, and also working with groups in Parliament, but also working with civil society organizations, the media. And our aim is not only to strengthen democracy and accountability, but to ensure inclusive governance, better public policies, human rights, and thus leaving no one behind. The National Assembly is a vital institution in the Gambia, as it is the main body of collective decisions that affect our lives positively or negatively, but more so how we are governed as a people. Your role in this process as secretaries of committees and clerks is very critical. Even as much as you are not the parliamentarians, but your contribution is very key because the work of the National Assembly largely depends on you due to your responsibilities assigned and due to the processes and procedures that National Assemblies go through or parliaments go through. You produce the outputs of the parliamentarians as well as the National Assembly internally. The effective work of Parliament depends on your capability to be effective with the right skills and knowledge to perform your duties efficiently and professionally. As we all know, Parliament, and in the Gambia in our case is the National Assembly, is defined as a predominantly elected body of people that acts collegially and that has at least the formal but not necessarily the exclusive power to enact laws binding on all members at a specific geopolitical entity. So therefore, the functions of the National Assembly ranges from state budgeting and contributing to the development of the economy, society, culture, education, national security, defense, just to name a few. So therefore, the function of the National Assembly ranges from representation, legislation, deliberation, scrutiny, budget setting making, and breaking governments, and also act as a redress grievance mechanism. So therefore, capacity building is very crucial. It's a very crucial aspect of institutional development and ensuring success by providing staff with the necessary knowledge, skills, and resources to enhance the performance, productivity, and professional growth. The committee secretariat provides secretariat services to all National Assembly committees. I have no doubt that this training will bridge the capacity gap and improve your skills and knowledge on the areas that you are working, considering the low human resources confronting most institutions, and the National Assembly is no exception. Thus, to help you better organize your work, and as such, documentation in both digital and manual forms, report writing, among others. In our GIA program, 2023 and to 2024, we began this process with the training of parliamentary journalists. It also helped them to ensure that they have the right skills and knowledge to report what happens in Parliament. And also, we're aiming to engage with local councils by providing a training to women councillors on issues of gender and development to strengthen democracy and good governance at the grassroots to the central level. We envisage that this training will enable the clerks, the secretaries, the researchers to perform their duties with efficiency. In conclusion, may I take this opportunity to thank the leadership of the National Assembly through the Deputy Clerk for giving us this opportunity in facilitating this training and also sharing their knowledge with the participants, and more so having an open door policy, support, and are always responding to WFD's services positively. On that note, I welcome you once again on board, and I hope that you have a fruitful training.
Thank you so much, Mr. for that wonderful presentation. And how to ensure that the training will go a long way in improving our services to the members and the National Assembly at large. So we now welcome Mr. Marabi Haidara, the director of committees to also give.
Good morning, everyone. I'm the Deputy Clerk Legislative Business, the Deputy Clerk Legal and Procedural Matters, the country rep of WFD, Anti-Taboo, and colleagues here in present. I recognize the attendance of one of our facilitators, Honorable Jao. Good morning to you all, and welcome to this important training session organized by the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, WFD. Today we embark on a journey to enhance our technical skills in crucial areas of minutes writing and digital documentation. As clerks or committee clerks, our role is pivotal in ensuring the smooth functioning and keeping the integrity of our parliamentary processes. The accurate and efficient recording of minutes is fundamental to maintaining transparency, accountability, and historical record of legislative activities. In an era where technology continues to reshape our work, proficiency in digital documentation is equally essential. It does not only streamline our workflows, but also ensures that our records are secure, accessible, and well organized. This training, as we know, aims to equip us with the skills and knowledge necessary to excel in these areas. By the end of this program, we should have a deeper understanding of the best practices in minutes writing and latest tools and technologies or techniques in digital documentation. This will not only enhance our individual capabilities, but also strengthen the overall efficiency and effectiveness of our services to the National Assembly. We are grateful to the Westminster Foundation for their continuous support and commitment in building our capacities and in general parliamentary staffs as a whole. Their expertise and resources have always been valuable in helping us achieve our goals to be more efficient and transparent in our legislative processes and our services to National Assembly members. So I therefore encourage my colleagues to engage the resource persons actively and ask questions, share our experiences during this training. Together we can learn and grow, ensure that we are well equipped, well prepared to meet the demands of our evolving parliamentary environment. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and insightful training.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marabi S. Aydara, for that wonderful presentation. I will now welcome Mr. Khalifa Mbaye, Deputy Clerk, Legal and Procedural Matter of the National Assembly, to give a welcoming remark for the workshop.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Madam MC, Sarah, for that well coordinated opening ceremony. Good morning, Country Rep WFD, Anti-Taboo, and my colleague, Director of Committees, Mr. Marabi Hydra, and of course, the distinguished resource persons here present, and colleagues from the National Assembly, and all protocol respectfully observed. And on behalf of the Clerk of the National Assembly, I wish to welcome you all to this 2 days refresher training, as the MC just rightly stated, organized by WFD in partnership with the Office of the Clerk. And I use this occasion as well on behalf of the National to thank WFD for being a true partner of the National Assembly over the years since 2018, and consistently, for that matter, has been providing support and of course partnership to the National Assembly service, for which we are grateful. As we said, this is a refresher training. We have done it before, and doesn't mean that we should be also not having refresher training as such, which is very fundamental as far as knowing who we are as a service and what is expected of us. It reminds us what is expected of us as a National Assembly service. And of course, build on our momentum as well as take stock of ourselves, where we get it right and where we may get it wrong, and to reshape ourselves as a service. And WFD, we are very grateful for this consistent partnership over the years. As rightly stated by the Director of Committees, minutes writing and of course report writing and documentation is key as far as assembly service is concerned, because all our job revolve around this area. How do we take good minutes, record keeping in our various domains, whether you are in this sector or that sector or this department or this unit? Is fundamental. You have a role to make sure that the records of Parliament is efficiently done, and not only done in an efficient manner, but of course the records are kept for prosperity and for public transparency purposes. Because Parliament is a public space and it's a public institution that all its records are meant for the public. So if you have a service that is well organized in Parliament, as well as not only keeping it in good record, but as well as preserving those records for public inspection or accessibility, I think is fundamental. And we will not be more than grateful to any partner, especially WFD, to come and build on our capacity and as well as refresh our minds as far as our core mandate and responsibility as a service is concerned. The partnership with WFD has been cordial and very fruitful, as well as impactful, not to the National Assembly as a whole, but particularly to the service over the years. Especially, there are certain key happenings or developments in the Assembly that we need to give credit, particularly to WFD, like the establishment of the NIDRIC, which is National Assembly Interdepartmental and Information and Research Group, which seeks to bring collaboration among units and departments within the Assembly. This has been the initiative of WFD, and it's very impactful and resourceful as far as the National Assembly's service delivery is concerned. Talking about the trainings, not only to us as National Assembly service staff, but to members as well. There has been a lot of training that has been conducted for not only us as service, but to members as well, geared towards building their capacity in the due execution of their mandate of legislation, representation, and oversight. This is commendable. And talk less of in 2018, what we take solace of is when WFD together with CPA had to come together to do an institutional and legal assessment of the National Assembly. And I could say, as a new management in 2018, that has gone a long way in reshaping our journey as a service to where we are today. Because it was at that time that we were able to be assessed to see how effective and how efficient are we as an assembly service. So that report produced by WFD was able to tell us where we are and where we are going forward today here. And I think we must be grateful for that, because that has really improved on our service. And you have not only stopped at that, but since that day, you have continuously tried to bridge the gaps that were identified in that report by building the capacity of not only members but staff as well, in together to strengthen to what we call the institution of Parliament. As we say in a democracy, Parliament is very fundamental. And of course, as we always fondly say, Parliament breaks or makes a country. So in doing so, the Assembly service, we serve the members to deliver their mandate by strengthening their capacity. Then it means you are also strengthening the institution of Parliament, which is very fundamental, and as well as contributing to sustaining democracy. You know, Gambia's democracy is very young, and of course, to nurture and preserve, and of course, have a sustainable democracy in this country, it is fundamental that Parliament is strengthened and as well as capacitized to be able to deliver on their mandate of legislation, representation, and oversight. So we thank you once again for coming together on board to help us to build our capacity to be able to deliver effective service delivery. And on a final note, I just want to remind my colleagues, including myself, that let's take this work so very seriously. It's not necessarily just a refresher, but it also reminds us our key responsibility and how we need to. I'm pretty sure that by the end of the day or 2 days, we'll be able to learn 2 or 3 things out from here, and we'll be able to impact in our respective duties, wherever we are in our station duties. That's very fundamental. Let's take very keen interest in it to make sure that we interrogate as well as Marabi just said, ask many questions as we can. Don't feel shy. Engage the resource persons, because we believe they have did a very good job, the WFD, to identify very key resource persons to be able to deliver key topical areas that are very fundamental in our service delivery as a service. So let's engage them in this 2 days workshop. Ask if many questions as possible to make sure that we interrogate them to see, to learn at least two. I think everybody's set personal objective in every workshop, particularly this one, is you have to set a target of I must learn 1 or 2 things by the time I leave this room. And one, if I have learned 1 thing or 2, how would I be able to impact it in my work at the assembly? I think that's very key, fundamental as a person. That should be a principle that we should inculcate in ourselves. That at any training that I attend, I should be able to take away 1 or 2 things, and not only taking 1 or 2 things, but if I go, I'll be able to improve my service. That's very fundamental, and I implore all of you to take this opportunity to learn 1 or 2 things. And I'll ask your respective head of department to do an assessment to see if what you have learned here has been manifested in your work. And it gives the partner also that courage to be doing more things for you. That, okay, this is what have been learned. Because we are taking solace and pride that NADRIC is the name of WFD. And that boasts their morals as a partner to do more for the National Assembly. And if they are able to see tomorrow, there's one style or improvement that you have learned in minutes writing, and tomorrow they've seen that the minutes has improved, that tells you something. It boosts their moral as a partner, and it gives them more courage to support us as a service. And that's the challenge that I throw back to you. Even including myself, I will challenge myself to learn 1 thing here that I'll be able to do when I go back to the assembly. Once again, on behalf of the National Assembly and of course the clerk, I thank you for coming and wish to declare this 2-day workshop officially open. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Sambai. You gave us a challenge, and I think on behalf of the colleagues, we'll accept that challenge. We'll take the workshop seriously, and we will be able to show you that the challenge accepted was able to go a long way in improving our work. And like we said, from here I just contact the head of the units. I'm sure they will tell you that we really did well. Thank you so much. And then we can now take our seats, and then we start the process.